Good afternoon, my fellow friends, YouTubers. This is Kurt, and welcome back to the Kurt's Place channel here on the YouTube. Well, guys, it's time for another arcade game review. Now, this time we're going to be checking out Space Duel, made by Atari in 1980. This is a really great shooting game, very similar to Asteroids that I remember playing back in the day. Now, I want to mention, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you like what you see. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comments section down below. And as always, thanks again for watching. So as we're checking out the intro screens, I'll tell you a little bit about Space Duel. Now, when Space Duel came out at the time, I was 10 years old, but I still remember this game being very unique. There were some things that made Space Duel stand out. One thing that made it stand out was the graphics and everything on this game were absolutely phenomenal. Really crisp, clean graphics that I always loved on this game. And if I remember, I believe that this was a vector game as well. That's one of the reasons, if I remember correctly, it was so darn crisp. But I fortunately was able to play this game in Aladdin's Castle back in the day. And what was really great about Aladdin's Castle was they always kept those kind of dark. So this really made this game stand out. If you have a dark room, that's where this game really stands out. So the darker the better room on this game. Now, one of the things also made it unique was it was a game where you could do two players at the same time, but also it had another unique feature. You could do a single player or you could do a double player, a single player, or you could have a double player on each player, which I thought was really cool. When you do that, what that meant was you could use either a single fighter to shoot or you could use a double fighter to shoot. And that was always something that made it really cool when you played this game too, as you're going to see in the select screen as well. Now, another thing too is control-wise, you have left and right buttons to turn left and right. You have a thrust button. You also have a shield button. So very cool stuff. So let me go ahead and begin here, and I'll show you what I was saying about the screens. So here's your select screen. So you're going to notice you can either do one player with a single, or you can do one player with a double. You can do two players with separate fighters, or you can do two players where they're connected together with the rod in the middle. Same thing with the one player. Always thought that was really cool. Pretty unique thing too to see in a game like this too. So let's begin. Also, the soundtrack was also very cool in this game as well. Now, you're going to notice that the different shapes and things are really crisp. The soundtrack on this game, too, is phenomenal. Now, you're going to notice you kind of start out with these spinning discs, but you're going to notice there's a lot of different shapes in this game as well. Now, as you complete the round, then you have a bonus level in between, and then you're going to try to go to the next level. Now you notice how the shapes change? That's one thing I always love, the fact that it had all these different shapes and things too. Really cool stuff. Now another thing that was unique too is if one of my fighters gets hit, there's my shield button by the way. If one of my fighters gets hit, the other one will still work, but it's at reduced firepower. That's one of the things that was cool too. I always thought that was neat too. Now each level gets a little harder than the last too. And you notice how they're starting to combine different shapes? That's what makes this game so cool. Now you're going to notice how one of my fighters got hit. You see how you can control them? But it's at reduced firepower. And I always liked it too when one of the guys dies. It burns down the rod and blows up the other one. I thought that was really cool. And you also got to notice because they're connected by a rod, it makes controlling these guys kind of neat too. Oh! Then all the different shapes of things were amazing in this game. I positively loved all the different shapes and things that they had in this game too. And you're gonna notice it's speeding up too. So there you go. So there's a game definitely you get a chance to try Space Duel. We have a high score screen. And there you go. There's your high scores. Now, I also want to mention too, by the way, when you're watching a video, if you look at the little icon on the top right-hand corner, that has links that have to other videos as well. Just click on the one you want to watch. There's links to other videos as well. I also want to mention, if you want to help to show your support for the Kurt's Place channel, I do have merchandise available. You can get things such as hats, mugs, and keychains to help support the channel. There's a link in the video description down below. All right, and as always, I want to thank you once again, by the way, for tuning into the Kurt's Place channel and checking out my arcade game review of Space Duel. And as always, thanks again for watching. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye now. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye now.